You're listening to Until They Sleep, a podcast where two parents finally get to sit down and discuss all the different things that run through their heads every day because their four kids are finally asleep. Thanks for listening. Welcome back to Until They Sleep. This is Shantelle, and I'm joined by my husband, Daniel. You took too long, sorry.
Hola.
And we're here again to discuss managing time, because I think I closed out the last episode saying that I wanted to talk about managing time.
Managing time. We're horrible at it, and I don't care because time is on my side. Yes, it is.
Well, time is money, according to a lot of people.
Hell yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk about managing time because I just been thinking about how busy my schedule is. And, you know, the fact that we didn't record that 1 week. And in the last year, there were several times we didn't record just because of time management issues. And man, it just really comes down to how busy I am. Like, I feel like something's going to give.
You know, it's funny when you're talking about managing time. Like you think about it, it's something that automatically we're taught about to cope with and deal with at a very young age, right?
Yeah.
We're being programmed to manage our times by, you know, first period, second period, going to classes or waking up by a certain time and being ready by this time. And if you're not ready by this time, you're going to be late to school. If you haven't, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Start planning accordingly and everything. So it's such a funny thing that we're molded and we're taught to do it at a young age. Yet, even as adults, it seems like sometimes we just can't manage it properly because something always comes up, or or we take something for granted, or we want to test the limits of it, and then later on we go on to regret it, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you want to talk about that. It's a good one, actually. We can go on for this one for a while because we can agree to disagree. We can, I mean, it might get heated. You know,
I don't know about that.
No, you never know. It's just one of those things, like, you know.
In talking about, you know, how overwhelmed I feel sometimes with jobs, I know that there's other moms. I shouldn't just say moms, but there's other parents out there who, I guess it's called parental burnout. And I'm juggling all these different things. And I know it might come across as I'm complaining about my life. And I'm sure there's other parents out there who have it worse, or are single parents, you know, who are trying to just make ends meet and still be a present parent for their kids. And that situation is different. So I don't know. I was reading some statistics, and it says like 66% of parents feel that they're burning out. And I'm speaking about working parents, not stay-at-home parents.
No, I bet. I mean, as busy as it is already, like being a parent and trying to work and trying to do everything. So,
yeah, it was like 66%.
Yeah.
And there's actually burnout and I understand that there's burnout for stay-at-home moms, like, or stay-at-home parents.
I never heard this burnout thing. This is new to me.
Yeah, and I was reading that it's actually something you can claim as a psychological issue.
I heard of people saying, like, at work that they're stressed out, or you know, that they need help, and then they get, like, you know, I don't know, some time off to get their head together, or seek professional help, or something.
I think I've heard it referred to as a mental day.
A mental day?
Yeah, like where you just need a mental break day. Just to
shit, I need those every day.
I know, I get the feeling. So I was reading some of the characteristics of, you know, if you're feeling overwhelmed,
right,
or, you know, stressed out. For stay-at-home moms, it's a little different than it is for the working parent. Like for stay-at-home moms, I guess they suffer from something called exhaustion syndrome, and that's due to the isolation from other adults. And they feel like they've lost their sense of self, their identity.
Okay.
And they also find themselves not equal to their partner or anybody else. Like, let's say they have a circle of friends and everyone's, you know, living life. They being the stay-at-home parent versus their circle of people. being out and about in the world and doing other things, they feel unequal.
Well, yeah, because there's already a difference, right? Like, you want to be around your friends or your conversations, the people that you want to have things that you're have things similar in, or
Yeah.
in common is what the word I was trying to say. Something in common with. And if your circle of friends are all not staying at home moms, they're working and they're traveling, they're doing things, you obviously feel like you don't belong. You feel out of place.
Yeah.
So it can be an additional thing that might, be frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, that's not my situation because I'm a working mom.
And maybe these reports and everything that are out there is probably a lot of the reasons why a lot of people nowadays don't want to have a family.
That's true.
Because,
That's true.
I mean, come on, think about it. Like I said before, our grandparents or our parents, like, they didn't have all this accessible, all these stats, all this information out there, and there was no such thing as diagnosis.
That,
like
and that was
so
another.
these are all new things, right?
Well, I think the stress has always been there, but I think back in the day, you just did it. Like you were like women weren't working
Yeah,
the way they do now.
But see, that's the other thing. I think with all the accessibility of the internet and social media groups, that there's like, you wonder, oh, I wonder if they make this, or I wonder if somebody else is going through what I feel or what I'm going through, and that's how those support groups are created, or you find other people in common. And I think it's become one of those things now where everybody's more open and they're willing to talk about the issues, while before, everybody just kept it inside and that was it.
Yeah, you just kept it to yourself. This is your role. This is what you have to do, and it is what it is.
Yeah, that's life. Like, suck it up, drive on.
Yeah,
Right?
like those moms that had 10 children.
Right.
They're just
they stayed home and they took care of kids.
raised their kids.
And like you were saying something about, they want to, like, it seems like, I took it kind of like sacrificing their time to be able to be a parent and do the jobs as a parent. Mm-hmm. And that's usually what happens. So there's all these people that are kind of like, well, no, I don't want to sacrifice my time. I enjoy, my going on walks or being on going to the theater or going to movies or my bowling game or my pickleball game or, whatever they might do, something extra there, right?
Yeah.
And then once you become a parent, you're taking care of another human being. So it's not about you anymore. You have to be responsible for somebody else.
Yeah.
And so that's where the selfishness comes in, right? Because you're like, that's when they go into that, like, oh, I can't do this no more. I can't do that. there's no me time.
Yeah.
Like, like, for example, we all like to do things, right? But we laugh, we make those jokes like, well, I wish I could have the time to sit down and read a book.
Yeah.
Right? Or I wish that I can sit down and,
watch a movie without being interrupted.
Right.
Or go to the bathroom without someone knocking on the door.
Right. Or like, let's take, for example, like, you love to read, right? And you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that because somebody's always coming, right? Because their kids always need something.
Or
because I need something.
By the time I have time to read, it's right before bed, and
you're
my
exhausted.
eyes are so tired,
Right.
I can't.
So same thing with me, right? And like I started that whole little hobby of wanting to paint those little miniatures. Mm-hmm. When's the last time I painted?
Yeah, you don't.
I don't have the time, right? I wish there's moments where I was like, oh, I could sit down real quick and do 1/4 of something, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I just want to sit there and just relax and enjoy this little moment.
Enjoy
right?
the silence.
Silence, or a moment of just to have a conversation with you, or just to be next to you, or hold one of the kids or something. Like,
or do nothing.
Yeah. Well, I don't end up doing that.
I know.
It
I
is
understand.
nothing, but it's
like sometimes I'll see you sitting there, like on your phone, and you're just scrolling through whatever. It's technically doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just mindless. Or like I might take 5 minutes and play a game on my phone before I get back into something.
And those are kind of like the mental breaks, right?
Yeah.
But it feels like it wasn't enough. Like your mind's like,
I don't know. Sometimes I think it's not even a mental break when you play a game, because you're playing a game. Like you're still making your brain work.
But it's at another level, right? A different type of stimulation.
It's a different, but I feel like I'm looking at computer screens all day, whether I'm looking at my work screen or looking at the screens for the kids for doing homework, or looking at my phone screen. So I'm looking at screens all day, and my eyes are super tired at the end of the day. So I think the whole point is more just that sensation of, I feel sometimes that something's going to give, and that's part of that parental stress, I guess, or that whatever diagnosis they give it nowadays. Like if I were to go to a psychologist or psychiatrist or something, I could totally probably get diagnosed based on, my exhaustion alone is a symptom of this,
Yeah, and I don't mean to discredit it. There's like I always say, I always have two battles of two people that are in me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's I totally completely agree. I can see the stress. I can see everything. I know you're not alone. I don't. Like you said, there's a lot of other parents moms that go through that. They're
Mm-hmm.
always home with the kids, and they just need that interaction with another adult, but at a different level.
Yeah.
But they want to have somebody that has something in common with them.
Yeah. Well, remember I was home for 2 years with.
Right, and you look for those mommy groups. And all that other
I was
stuff.
happy to have my mom groups, but of all those moms, only one of them was a stay-at-home mom. No, two of them were stay-at-home moms.
But see,
all the other moms worked.
But where I was going with it, but then there's that other part of me is like, whatever. It's just another excuse, something to complain about. Not just you, but like everyone's like this is. What year are we in?
Yeah.
Like how many? We're not the first parents. We're not the first one with more than one.
I
kid
wonder
or one
though,
kid.
and not just for moms, but like even those dads. It's just parenting in general. We're all so dang busy. Like there's, especially with how expensive things are. Like we've talked about how, as much as I might say my job's going to give, my job might be the one to give. Like realistically, financially, it doesn't make sense for my job to give. Yeah, and I think a lot of households find themselves in that situation where they need both incomes to get by because the world is so expensive. Like everything is just so expensive. Gas is expensive. Food is expensive. Yeah. I know. Housing is expensive. Like how much we've I think discussed how much rents were in San Diego a while back and how it's just a joke, just to rent something. So it doesn't make sense to, as much as I would like to just say, bye-bye job, I don't need you anymore. It's not true. I do need it. So.
It sounds like it because you also need that break from the kids.
Well, but now, honestly, the only one home is our 5-year-old.
Yeah, but,
the break is not that bad. I feel bad that I can't get to other things around the house. Like we joke about the whole laundry, right, thing that we've joked about before. There's little things like I'll even be like, okay, I got to wash those dishes again. Should be walking the dogs and I should be like my self-care stuff. I don't do anything for self-care for myself. And there's other moms out there who are all about their self-care, right? They take care of themselves first. I have a mom friend who gets up super early to work out before she starts her day.
But maybe that's just her therapy. That's how she deals with.
Well, she's also only got one kid who's in high school, so I mean, it's
that's different. So then, when you have that one kid who's in high school, you probably
then I'll be able to self-care. I mean,
that's the difference, though.
And even within my mom friend circle,
everybody has different situations. Everybody has a different background.
Yeah.
So you can't be comparing yourself to other people's shit.
It's hard. I think it's just human nature to compare ourselves to other people. No matter how much we say I don't care, a part of us cares. Otherwise,
there's a part of people like me that just don't care.
Yeah,
my life is my life, and my life is my way.
I'm not comparing it to like, oh, I wish I had their life. It's more like,
but you say I wish I could do what they did.
I do wish I could. I wish I had the energy to do it. Like,
we all have different stuff.
Or I don't know. Maybe I just need to make sure I'm in bed by 9 o'clock every day so I can. When the kids go to bed, I should be going to bed. Screw whatever else has to get done. No more until they sleep. I need to sleep.
Okay. Hey, you do you. You do whatever helps you. You keep on doing it.
I'm just, for those who haven't listened to previous episodes, I am homeschooling our 5-year-old. I also work from home 3 days a week.
3 days a week. Yeah.
3 days a week I work from home. It's supposed to be 2 days a week and I'm supposed to have one day off, but I still am doing homework and dinner with the kids after school and somewhere in there editing the podcast, on the weekends recording the podcast, and at no time have I added my notary work into any of this yet because I don't have time to do notary work. So and on top of this, I'm still supposed to maintain a house of 6, right? Laundry, dishes, you
Whoa,
know,
whoa, 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 whoa,
cleaning
whoa, whoa.
rooms, things like that. So there's so many things that I need to get done and put in my schedule every day. And I'm just beat, by bedtime. And sometimes I'm not even in bed till midnight. I'm up at 5 in the morning and I'm exhausted. I'm like driving to work and I'm like, one of these days something's going to give. What am I going to give? what's gonna go? Like, which one am I gonna have to let go of? Because just some days I do feel overwhelmed.
No, definitely when you put it like that, there is a lot of stuff in your plate, and I'm pretty sure you're not alone.
I'm not. I'm sure I'm not. I
a lot
just
of moms have that
how
going
many
on.
other moms get it done? Like,
Single parents,
yeah.
you know,
But in the end, something's got to give. Like for all those people, I'm not just saying moms, but there's dads out there who are raising their families on their own. Something's got to give, and what do you give? Like, what do you get rid of? Like we've said before, this podcast is just us. Like nobody's paying us for our time to do this. And
or
if
therapy.
it's our therapy, and if someone out there is listening to us and can relate to this and it helps them somehow, please let us know, because then we feel that we're being of use, and maybe that would maybe help me justify this better. Other than therapy with us, like us being able to chit chat and talk, understanding that there's someone out there or people out there who can hear this and relate to the situations that we're going through or the things that we may be thinking as parents, it helps to justify the time that I put into it. You know what I mean? Because we can chit chat almost whenever. We don't have to record it. You know what I mean? And put it out there for people. And then the other side of it is like the whole homeschooling thing. Like there's so many days I'm like, I wish I had just put her in school. But then there's that other side of me that's like, no, she's better with you at home where she has your focused attention.
And it has shown. It has shown when we compare it to the other three.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Compared to her.
she's miles ahead of the others
Right.
at that same age in kindergarten.
Because there's no distraction from other
Yeah.
children, right?
Yeah.
There's no, it's a one-on-one,
Yeah.
so it's easier to focus on. So,
And
yeah.
it makes me feel bad that I didn't do it with the others. So it's another factor.
Hey, unfortunately, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, you're right. That time management is pretty crazy. Like having to coordinate it. You're running around, you're waking up, you're getting ready for school, packing the lunches, driving them to school, coming back, teaching another one, trying to get your work schedule in there, doing maybe meetings, and maybe it's us. Maybe one day we get home and you're not here. I remember I made those jokes to the kids before. Like, hey, you guys don't help out. You guys
I
don't
don't help. Yeah, I'm gonna
arguing with your
disappear.
mom or anything one day.
Like that lady that disappeared on her family just because she wanted to be free of the stress, and then showed up years later,
Right. Yeah.
expecting the family just to take her back.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's.
But for you, like your schedule at work can be really busy, or it used to be really busy. Now it's not as busy because you're not in a management position anymore. But
Yeah, so that one, yeah, during one of those, like you said previously, time management sucked. Like like once during the work hours, like before, yeah, like you said, you're like, let's wake up, get ready, get lunch ready, get breakfast ready, pack it, leave at a certain time, get there for a meeting, and then if there's traffic, holy crap, everything's like.
Everything's out of your control with the traffic.
Yeah, and it's funny because like we're talking about time management, and I have landmarks and checkpoints. So like if I'm not by this checkpoint by this time, I already know I'm pushing it. I don't know I'm gonna be late for this meeting or whatever. So it was one of those, and then once there's all these meeting, and then okay, everybody's there, job assignments, getting jobs done, whatever happens in there happens, right? But like you're saying, sometimes there wasn't a lunch, sometimes there was a late lunch, sometimes there was no final break, like because you're working through it. Then you have to send emails and everything about what happened throughout the day or get parts and everything. So it's like you get out at this time, but of course you never leave at that time. You end up saying later, and it's the same thing, coming home, trying to do things. And then I feel bad a lot of times. I feel horrible because I'm like, do something like just to alleviate it, and whatever little that I can, I try not to ask you to help me. You know, like I said, sometimes with making the breakfast or making my lunch or washing my clothes or folding my clothes, putting away my clothes. Like I try to leave that for me. Like I usually get mad if you're like, why did you wash my clothes? Don't touch my clothes. Like you already have enough. The grief I give the boys, like you're old enough, you can be doing this. Your mom doesn't need to do this for you, right? Also kind of like those you can do this guys, like you don't have to wait for me for the weekend to do this or for me to do it. You guys can be doing this, and the
Well,
boys are old enough where they should be helping you out more,
and
especially with the time management. We do have our second boy, I think, is gonna be great at time management because
I don't
he
know.
I don't know about lately.
Lately,
Okay,
no, not lately. I think he's
he's a
going in that.
preteen now, so
He's a
yeah.
preteen now, and I think it's these teen years kind of mess them all up with time management.
So yeah, well, the main five things for time, five keys for time management are set to be to set reminders for all your tasks, create a daily planner, give each task a time limit, block out distractions, and establish a routine.
Yeah, in a perfect
My
world.
wife tried to create a daily planner for everyone,
I have tried it so many
and
times.
these kids just don't care.
All different. I have tried posting it on a written calendar. I've set up phone reminders. I have done everything, and it's not just them, it's me too,
No,
because it's like I've been trying to get myself ready first. So I get myself ready first, and then I'll be getting our 7-year-old, go wake her up, and then go make sure the boys got up, and then I'll come back and maybe the 5-year-old woke up. And if she woke up, that throws off my schedule because she doesn't need to get up, right? I'll deal with her when I get back from dropping off the kids. And then the dogs, if there's something with the dogs, or the cat threw up, or the dogs have to go out, or whatever it is, it's like there's all these little things that put me behind schedule, or breakfast doesn't go right, or someone's walking around without their shoes on, so it's just like all these little things. And then we're trying to get out the door by a certain time.
I told you this before. It's like you're doing too much and you're doing it for them when they should be helping you. The whole shoe things, the dog things, those are little things that they could
But I
be
don't
doing.
put their shoes on them. I'm just saying, like,
But you're reminding them, you're telling them when you shouldn't have to be telling them. You know what I mean?
well, it's like because of the school they go to, I can't just take them in their pajamas. Like the other day, my mom was making some commentary, and and that's another factor right there, is if my mom wakes up and she starts commenting on the kid's hair isn't brush dried, or their uniform isn't on correctly, or it just adds to whatever frustration I might already be having that morning.
But again, this is one of those things where those are people that just want to bitch and complain about stuff instead of helping out.
Well, no, she'll try to help, but it frustrates me that she's helping because there are things I might have already done.
Okay.
So, like, for example, I'll brush our daughter's hair.
But so, and your mom's not good enough, or you did it too fast.
Exactly.
And just let her freaking do it.
But it's takes away time and distracts time from her maybe eating. So she needs to be finishing her breakfast before we get out the door. And so one day I was like, unfortunately, I can't take them in their pajamas. So this is good. Like, they're good right now.
I want to say something here. Right now, you're saying that, and you're talking about there's not enough time for this and not enough time for that. My dad had a solution for that.
A belt?
No, you wake up half an hour earlier.
Yeah,
And
but
if
then
you still
I have to wake up earlier.
And if
I don't want to have to get up at 4 a.m.
well, you're talking about time management, and if you're rushing and you're pushing everything, that's because there's not enough time. So then you got to make them more time.
I'm already getting up at 5.
Exactly. So then if that doesn't work, it's going to be 4:30, and if that doesn't work, it's going to be 4.
I'm not waking up that
and
early.
I'm pretty sure that once it gets to that point, these guys are going to start stepping up because, like, boy, if I help, I'll do this, and if I already get this ready and already get that ready. I know it's easy to say. I know.
I'm not running on 4 hours of sleep. That's not happening.
Okay. Well, the body only needs 4 hours of sleep.
No.
Yes,
my
it does.
body needs
It's been
more.
proven over and over again.
This is why I have more and more gray hair every day.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. Like, again, my job, and then I get home, and the whole time I'm rushing the kids. Like, we'll have dinner, and then I'm like, okay, I need you guys to focus on your homework. we need to get through this homework because the girls, well, the 7-year-old, she has a lot of homework.
I think a lot of the times that's also part of your nature because you're such a control freak. So you have to be there micromanaging everything that they're doing.
No, I don't. I said, you know how to do this, so get it done. And then I'll step away to do my thing. I'll come and I'll log back on the computer so I can start working a little earlier so I'm not on the computer till midnight. And then I'll be, why are you walking? Did you finish your homework? Is that why you're over here? Is that why you're walking around? Oh, yeah, no, I didn't understand something. Well, why didn't you come ask me instead of just walking around like you're done? So now I have to bring them into the room here, into our office space, and be like, okay, now you have to sit down and show me what you're doing. What don't you understand? And now I have to stop working, focus on them for a couple minutes to make sure that they're on the right page. And then I get back to work while they're still trying to finish their homework. So, you know what I mean? So I'm like multitasking at that point. And I think I'm used to it, but it's still just a lot because my brain is super tired at the end of it all. And it's because they don't understand. I'm not doing their work for them.
But you are.
But I'm not because
But
she's
you are.
7 and I'm explaining
Yes,
to
but
her
you
how
are
to do
because
it.
you have to keep on reminding them what they're supposed to be doing.
Well, and then what's the solution to that? Like, how do I work from home and make sure they get their homework done?
The thing here is that it's their homework. Like, they know what they're supposed to be doing if you tell them. The thing is that you don't want them to fail, but they're not learning anything because all they're learning is that their mom's going to come along and help them do everything or
But I
remind them
don't
to do
do
everything.
them for
Give
it.
me a
Like,
second.
I'm not doing it for them.
No, but partially you are because you're like, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do that? Like, this is where we're going to be different. See, that's what I was getting at. We're different in this aspect. I didn't have anybody ever telling me, did you do your homework? Did you do this? Did you do that? It was on me. At the end, when there was a report card and it came out and I failed, that was my ass. Why did you get this grade? Why? I talked to the teachers. They're telling me, you're not turning in your homework. Then what are you doing this whole time you're in your room? Or when are you doing your homework? I could have been a jerk and be like, well, you have so many damn chores for me. Like, when am I going to have time to do it? Like, you guys don't drive me to school. I had to take the bus. I had to get on the trolley.
I mean,
had to do
those
it.
are understandable.
But you see what I mean?
reasons, yeah.
Exactly. That's the difference. Did your mom and your dad sit there and be like, did you do your homework? Did you do this?
My dad would check in.
Okay.
Not my mom.
That was the difference, right? I didn't have nobody to do that. It was up to me. It's just like when it gets to a certain age and it was like, I'm not wiping your ass anymore. You're old
Yeah.
enough, wipe your own ass.
But
Hey, you're old enough, tie your own shoes.
I think you're misunderstanding. Like, I'm not having to do this with the boys. It's only with our 7-year-old.
Well, no, I hear you saying the same thing with the boys.
Well, I tell the 11-year-old, like, hey, buddy, did you finish your homework? If I see him goofing off or something, I go, oh, no, I'm almost done. I got one more page to do, or I got one more page to read. And then, yeah, the high schooler, I might ask him, but I don't sit there with him. I don't micromanage him.
No, but
I'll just ask him, hey, buddy, did you finish your homework?
Yeah, but when it's time for a deadline, how is he? Oh, I didn't do this. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, exactly.
I forgot to do that.
Right? So I always hear you. Did you do this? Did you do that? I was like, oh, thanks for reminding me, Mom. Thanks for reminding me, Mom. I'm like, the hell? Nobody should be reminding you. This is your job. You know what you're supposed to be doing. But now that has absolutely nothing to do with time management. That's them being lazy and you taking too much on your plate because I get it. It's your responsibility as a mom, and you're a provider, and it's in your nature to check in and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
They're on
and
task.
Everything. Yeah.
But there's also people who are just needlessly busy, right? And so maybe I'm needlessly busy because of, you say I micromanage the kids, when I look at it as just being a boss that's checking in. Or like you say, I'm not trying to let them fail, so I just remind them of the things that they're supposed to be doing so they don't fail or get yelled at or get in trouble.
But again, like, here's the other thing between the kids, right? I always notice that, like, oh yeah, no, Mom, like, you check the grades and everything, and you're like, you talk to them like, hey, you're failing this class, or your teacher told me you didn't turn this in, or whatever now, right? And they're like, whatever. Okay, no, yeah, well, okay, Mom. They come up with excuses or whatever not. But how are they if they know they're failing, and how are they when it comes to me?
Oh, the same way they are with everything else in life. Like, oh, don't tell Dad, but if Dad finds out, now they're scared.
Yeah. Oh,
But you don't even do anything to them. I'm the one who's hard on them, not you.
no, I do. But there's times when I just look at them, and that's sometimes,
It's the power of dad.
yeah. But because they already know, because we already had the conversation, right? And I tell them, you've hurt me, and you get mad with sometimes my words and my harshness with them, right? And I'm like, why does mommy? You need mommy for everything? Oh, mommy didn't check in on you enough to make sure that you didn't get that F, or that you made it on time for your field trip, or that you studied for your test, or what's your excuse this time? Because I saw you all weekend in their room not doing anything, not clean. Your room looks like trash. So you must have been studying, right? So why did you fail that test? I don't want to hear excuses. I want to hear. I want to see the results. Right? So that's the thing. And then later on, they're like, "Oh, Dad, can I have this?" Like, nope. Why would I get you anything? You didn't keep up your end of the bargain. You're not doing your job. Why would I pay you?
I've also heard though that being busy all the time can be a sense of laziness. Can be considered a sense of laziness towards the things you really need to be doing. So
like procrastinating something.
Like you're you
finding
keep
an excuse to
yourself
busy with
busy.
something else
Yes,
to avoid something else.
Exactly. So like, for example, one could say that I keep myself busy working at night so I don't have to fold that pile of clothes that needs to get folded. Even though I look at it every day,
I get that.
You know what I mean?
What is it about folding clothes that's like a nightmare though? Because even for me, sometimes I was like, oh, that's just there. I could do it right now real quick, like 5 minutes, and it would have been done already. I'll do it tomorrow. Even I do it, and I feel horrible.
But that's what I'm saying is that's a something that needs to get done, yet we keep ourselves busy doing other things to avoid that, or we just go to bed.
And it could be one of those all things, right, where that there's so many things that need to get done, so you decide that it's not worth the time because I need to get this done. So like you can be looking at it as procrastinating, but it's like in your case, you have so much on your plate that you're just trying to make the most out of the time that you have. So yeah, but going back to it, like so that's part of the time management. It's just choosing what you're gonna do in the window of time that you have there to get done, right? And I admire you. I told you that before. Like I think it's crazy, and I do feel horrible that I can't help you out enough.
But a part of me says that you shouldn't feel bad because
But because I care about you.
No, I know, but like
there's
so
we're
many
partners,
women,
right?
Yeah,
We're partners,
and I appreciate it. I do,
and it's a team thing though. Like it takes two, right?
Yeah.
So a
took
lot of
two
the times,
to make them,
right? So it takes the two of us to, and we're also their example. So if they see us doing things together, they see us handling and tackling stuff that needs to get done, then they're like, well, you know what? Okay, cool. But it's funny. Like you said, like when we have lazy days, like we feel bad because we're like, oh, I could have done this. We should have been doing this. We should have been doing that, right? It's one of those things. The kids sometimes are like, oh, well, cool. My parents are chill today, so we're going to be, we can be chill.
We're going to play video games all day because mom and dad are watching TV. We're not going to get in
trouble, yeah. We're not going to get in trouble. We're going to be chill. We can do whatever we do at other times. But then later on, they're like, well, can we do this? Can we do that? And it's like, oh, now you want to. But if we were doing it, we're asking you guys to do it. There's going to be a fit. There's going to be
they don't want to get dressed, or they don't want to do this, or they don't want to do that. Yeah, I forgot my point now.
And then the thing is, that's why sometimes I don't mind the lazy days, the laid back days, because I know that you need that break because I've heard you, or I've seen you, or like getting up early, getting the kids ready, running around. I wake up and I don't see you because you had a meeting, or you had to go to a dentist, or you had to go to a doctor's appointment, you had to go to this event at school, or, and you're doing all these other things. And there are times when I was like, well, I can't make that thing because that time I'm going to work, or, or I have to notify work that I'm going to be late, but it's still not enough. And I see that you have those crazy busy days where, this happened with your mom, or this is going on with your dad, or you know what I mean? Like you take a lot of responsibilities and you manage a lot of things. Like you said, even work and being a teacher to our youngest one. and then being a mother to all of them, and being a daughter, and being a sister, and being a wife. That's a lot, and you're
Is that what's giving, honey? I'm not a good enough wife right now.
baby. I right now, I mean, you're my partner, but I don't think I'll get to have you as my wife until we're old.
Till the kids are gone.
Until the kids are gone, we won't get to sit down and have
We had
a quiet.
3 years together, and
Yeah, we won't get down. We won't get that time to sit down and have a nice conversation without being interrupted until they're all until they're all teenagers. I'll be the easiest thing to say, right?
yeah.
We won't be able to have a nice, peaceful dinner until they're all gone from the house. But I don't want that, because there'll be moments where probably we'll be lonely and sad, without them, because we're so used to them. Believe me, there are times where, like, why are you guys so freaking loud? Like, keep it down. Like, I want to hear the TV. I can't hear the TV.
Or not even another conversation. Like, if you're trying to just hear what's being said around the table sometimes.
Yeah,
you
there's
just can't
3,
hear it.
4 conversations going on. And it's like, and most of the times it's either like 3, 4 moms going in there like, mom, 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 mom. Or, hey, dad. And it was like, oh, wait. Somebody just asked me something. I'm sorry, I can't answer this one because somebody's asking me, like, wait your turn.
Do we need to start implementing like the speaking stick?
Right.
It's like, if you're,
Management of time, right?
yeah, manage everyone's time.
You
It's
get
like,
1 minute.
You get 1 minute.
Go.
Here's a stick.
If you have any questions, start writing it down.
Because I know there's so many moms, like you see them on Instagram and Facebook, and you hear about all these moms who like have their calendars and they have everything on a schedule.
But
And even some of them that have, I think those are more like the ones that have like 1 or 2 kids. I think once you have more than 2 kids,
more than 1 kid.
schedules, it just depends on how
But
busy
that's the other
you keep
thing,
the
though,
kids
babe.
too, though.
You can't go off that social
Because
media
those are
shit.
home moms. Those are like
Nah, but a lot of that
stay-at-home
shit
moms that
is
don't
fake.
do- Yeah, that's
a lot
true
of this shit is
too.
fake.
Yeah,
Like
that's
they
true.
say all
I
these
know,
things is
I
all
know.
fucking perfect and everything,
Yeah,
but
their
it's not.
houses look perfectly clean. Like, you just pushed all that in the closet.
Yeah, they're probably real estate agents, and they're fucking borrowing a house that's gonna get sold as their background because it's already clean, and their real house is probably all trashed and has all this wall art and stuff. So it's just, a lot of the times some of that shit looks perfect, but like a lot of times you're like, no, it can't be that perfect. And I actually believe the videos where you're saying like moms or dads and they're talking to their kids or whatever not, and I see like
toys in the background.
Toys and blankets, or like just paints on the floor and crayons or Legos, and I'm like, that's their house. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Or I see the basket of laundry or clothes that folded. I was like, all right, that's a legit one because it's relatable to us, right? Because we know how that works.
Yeah.
So hey, people, moms, dads, we're with you. We get it. We admire you. But damn, babe, like right now I'm like listening to you and all that shit that you have going on, and I was like, damn, I feel like I should get you like a personal assistant or something. Like
well,
I can get you a sister wife if you want. Yeah.
I'm not okay with that option. A personal assistant would probably not work because if she doesn't do it the way I want her to do it, then
and that's the micromanager part.
That's my micromanaging. I need a maid. Maybe that's what I need.
But it's the same thing. You're going to be complaining about the way they do things.
That's true. I've thought about that also, but like I'm going to be mad if they didn't put it away where, like, I get mad. My mom tries to help.
I was about to say that. It's like you get mad at your mom for anything.
My mom tries to help. She does. She helps with dinner. If I remember to take something out of the freezer, then she'll come at some point and be like, hey, what do you want me to help you with dinner for? And so I'll let her know, okay, yeah, could you please make this and this with whatever I took out of the freezer? And then other times I'll be like, I'll just do it when I get home. Because she literally wants to cook by noon. Like,
well, no, that's brutal. Yeah,
she cooks so early.
My stepmom, she will start cooking dinner at noon. And this is the one thing I loved about my stepmom. She would start prepping everything. So like start chopping and prepping and everything, and then the cooking, and then everything will be like perfectly set at between 4 and 5, because 5 was dinner time, 5 or 6.
Yeah, same
6
here.
o'clock kitchen was closed, I think. So yeah, but see, so that was another thing. I grew up in a very time management house because
Yeah.
remember I told
Oh
you,
yeah, you told me that there were no eggs after noon.
no, the kitchen was closed usually by 10.
Okay.
So if you didn't make yourself breakfast by 10, like you were shit out of luck. Like that's it. You can have a cereal, you can have fruit, or maybe there was something left over.
Don't get any pots and pans dirty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like everything's clean because she's getting ready to start cooking at noon
Yeah.
for dinner.
I know. To me, it's just super weird that you didn't have eggs after you didn't have eggs for a section of the day. To me, it was just weird. I
Yeah,
mean,
and yeah, I mean,
I eat eggs any time of day.
yeah, you do.
Oh, shut up.
It was there. It was there perfect
I
for the
know,
taking.
perfect. But my mom, back to my mom. So she's trying to help with dinner, and then she tries to help with dishes and putting things away, and they get put in the wrong place, and I've stopped telling her, Mom, why did you put his? I already know it was her, so now I just move it to where it's supposed to go. Because I'm trying to be appreciative of the help she's trying to give, but her memory's still going, and now she's starting to fight me over it. My memory's perfectly fine. I'm like, sure, whatever you say. I'm
So,
trying to not argue with her.
so, in the place where I work at, the department where I work in at now, I am the younger guy, one of the younger guys, and I work with a lot of older guys, and I see it. I see what you mean. Like old people are set on their ways, and they're stubborn, and you can be like, no, it's like this, or it's over here, and they just cannot accept that
They're wrong.
they're wrong, and it reminds me of a kid,
Yeah,
like a little kid, where they
like
just
our
have to argue.
7-year-old.
Yeah, like no, you're wrong. So yeah, I can get part of that. I never understood the frustration between you and your mom. I was like, man, you guys argue about everything. And now I'm kind of understanding it. Right?
How easy it is to want to argue with them because
Yeah, but that's the difference, right? That's your mom.
Yeah.
So it's different. That's your mom, so you can argue with your mom. These are coworkers, so
Yeah, no,
and
I
because
know,
they're
it's
my
different.
elders, and I was raised to respect my elders, I had to bite my tongue and just be like, shut up, Daniel. Don't say nothing. Just shut the fuck up and let them
Yeah.
be. Let them do their thing, and just
How good are they at managing their time though? Like are they more lax? Are they good at time management? Are they whatever? Like how's their time management?
I would say it's horrible.
Horrible
I would say, I mean, it
compared to the
depends.
previous department.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's different.
Do you think it's because they're older?
No, I think it's different rules. You have hourly people to salary people, so time works a little different.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't matter. You'll get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying it's horrible, but I can't really say that because there's no set times. As long as you show up and you do your scheduled work hours, then you're good to go.
Yeah.
So we might have one or two guys that do that. They show up whenever and they do whatever and they leave whenever. So it's one of those things. And then there's another guy that's there for excessive times. Like I'm like, I leave, they're there. I show up, they're there. I
Yeah.
was like, damn, dude, like
They're there all day.
you're right, yeah. So it's one of those. It's different. It's
Okay.
different, but and I imagine they're pretty good with their time. But and a lot of them are ex-military guys.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing too. Why I get along with them. Military people just have a different way of doing things and approaching things and handling things.
Yeah.
So
Well, our boys definitely need the older one. He needs to work on his time management. He's just at that super, when he's home, he's just super lazy. I don't know about at school, but at home, he's just super lazy.
so
The 11-year-old is starting to get there.
I think what our oldest one, there's a lot of expectations and things that are demanded from him.
That's true.
And I think I'll let the other one get away with more crap.
Our 7-year-old frustrates the crap out of me because some days she's on it, and then other days she's just like, La di da, da di da. Mom. And she'll just start talking about whatever random thing popped in her head right in the middle of writing a sentence or doing a
I,
math
I saw
quiz.
I saw that the week that she was here sick.
Yes, the week
She
she was homesick.
I was like, stop procrastinating crap. Like,
Yes,
focus on what you're supposed to be doing
just
and get that done.
finish it. Just, and that's what I
But
always
that's the
tell
thing. I
her.
think
I
that's an
know she's
age
only
thing.
7.
Yeah,
She's
it's an age
7.
thing. You
But
know,
but see, that's the thing is like I'm constantly redirecting her, where you're saying I'm micromanaging, I'm redirecting her to focus
but
on
see,
her task.
and this is another thing, bro. Like, and this is a difference between adults and kids at times, right? Like, time management.
They
Most
don't
kids
have a
have
true sense of time.
yeah, they're just like whatever. And then when you say it's bedtime, it's like, come on, can I stay up? It's like, no, it's already, 9 o'clock. You're supposed to be in bed.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Or, hey, it's way past your bedtime. Like, you should have been in bed like half an hour ago. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, but I'm not sleepy. But it's like, that's that time management, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the
And the moment their
disregard.
head hits the pillow, they're out.
Oh, yeah. Like, earlier today, it was like, hey, okay, guys, like, way past bedtime. Go to bed. Oh, really? I was like, yeah, brush your teeth. Okay, will you check on us? Okay, cool. I'll be there like in 5 minutes. You go to check on them, they're
They're out.
freaking out.
Yeah.
Their heads touched the pillow, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Definitely time management's not a thing for kids, but
And then when
because
you have like you as a mom, where you're like, okay, wake up. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, wake up. Hey, do this, do that, do this, and you're the one that's like, okay, cool, 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 cool. And it's funny because I've seen it before in the mornings where you're like, you gotta get this done. It's almost time for this. It's almost time for that. You should be here. You should be there. And then all of a sudden, one of your alarms goes off, and they're like, oh. And I see them. They start like just going to town on their breakfast. Like,
yeah,
that one
I
alarm's
have
going
two
off.
alarms. I have 2 alarms. So by the time the first alarm goes off, they've got 10 minutes to finish their breakfast or whatever they got 10 minutes to finish being ready to get out the door. And then if that alarm goes off, and it'll go off the second time and I'll be like, okay, time to go. Let's go. You got 5 minutes to get in the car. And then if that alarm goes off a third time, we may be late to school. So like if that third alarm goes off before we're in the car.
The shit that makes me laugh about that is that like you have those alarms, right? And it'll be funny because there was those times, like let's say Mondays when I'm actually like I've gotten up and I go out there.
There's also the times I forget to take my phone and the alarm goes off and wakes you up.
But I mean the other times, and then it's funny because I see the oldest one like sitting there and just like playing with his thumbs or grabbing the guitar.
He takes his
Fucking
time
around,
in
taking
the
his time.
mornings.
And then that alarm goes off, and I seem like, oh crap! And then he's
Now
like
he
running
goes,
around,
yes.
and I'm like, punk! Everybody's in the car waiting for you. You're the one that was sitting around,
Playing the guitar,
fucking around,
goofing off.
while everybody's doing stuff, trying to finish their breakfast, and you're the one just there chilling. And then he leaves. Okay, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm out.
Yeah. No, the 11-year-old has done it to me too, where like plenty of times so when they're done with their homework, I tell all of them, please go put your homework in your backpack. I don't want to see it on the piano. I don't want to see it next to your backpack. I don't want to see it anywhere but in your backpack. Because in the morning, we're going to be late if you cannot find that paper. I don't know how many times, and if there's any parents listening who have gone through this, where their kids do not put their stuff in their backpack and they're running around in the morning looking for it. Like, I don't know how many weeks it's been. We cannot find our daughter's tie. She has to wear a little bow tie every Monday to school, and we don't know where it is. I asked her to put it in her dresser, and she swears she did, but we have not been able to find it for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Time management, though.
Time management.
These kids and their no idea of time. And I mean, my original point was just that I just feel sometimes that when your life is like super busy, and this is not just me, this is like every person who has a lot on their plate, right? They say stress kills, right? And we a lot of times choose the stress, right? We take on these tasks. It's like the yes man, right? That the person that says no, never, right? They're always like, yeah, I'll get that done. Yeah, I'll get that done. Yeah, I'll get that done. Yeah. And then eventually they've said yes to so many things.
That they're overbooked,
They're
overwhelmed.
overbooked and overwhelmed. And that's, I think, some days, I think that's like when my eye starts to twitch. I have, I
It's the
have,
stress,
I
right?
have a
Blood
tell
vessels about
now.
to
Yeah, I have a tell
burst
now.
right
My
there.
left eye, and I actually went to the doctors about for this a couple years ago when my left eye just started twitching uncontrollably out of nowhere. I lost complete control of this side. Like it would just twitch and twitch and twitch and twitch. And the doctor gave me eye drops and just told me it's probably related to high stress and just to use these eye drops because also I'm in front of a computer all the time. So it could cause eye dryness. And the eye drops did help. And I tried to like meditate and just relax a little bit more, take days off. Like I was taking like one day off a week during the week so I could just deal with household stuff
Right.
and the kids without having to worry about work. And I feel like I need to get back to that because my eye has started twitching again. So, and then when I was sick over the summer, I wonder if some of that was also because of stress because I had just gotten back to work full, in the office. So trying to juggle that and the house and the kids and my mom after being home for 2 years, I think that set off, on top of whatever it was I had eaten, the stress of having to add this outside of the house thing to my schedule. I think it just messed me up. It didn't help, my stress levels.
No,
Is
for
what I'm
sure.
trying to
No,
say.
because there's so much stuff going on, and something in your body has to, got to release like a chemical or something to let you know, like this is too much.
It's
This
too
is
much.
too much
Yeah.
crap
So
going
whenever
on.
my eye starts to twitch, I know I need to let something go, and I'm thinking I need to go back to 4 days a week work, but we'll see. I need to get, again, it's like a sense of responsibility. Maybe this is part of my micromanaging side where I just have this sense of I need to get things done. And that's not just at home, but within my job. I love my job. I love what I do.
So bottom line, what you're saying is, moms always try to fix their time management, find a way to do the time management by setting up alarms or calendars and everything. But in reality, kids make it really hard.
I mean, that's the point of being a mom, right? Yeah. Kids make it really hard because, I mean, single people or people who don't have children, I mean, their time's theirs. You know what I mean? Like, they can dedicate their whole day to their job because they got nothing else that they have to do, or they can choose not to, right? They're like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. Oh, I'm going to go out to dinner. Or, so their time management is their own. It's not, and maybe that's why more and more people choose to not have kids.
You wanted to have a nice conversation about how to take advantage of time management, and unfortunately, we come to the conclusion there's so much stuff going on, different ways of handling things, and kind of you ended up kind of venting about the frustrations of everything that's on your plate. That makes it hard for you to use your time management appropriately, because in your mind you have a schedule of how you want to do things, but with 4 children and all being different personalities, making it harder, creating a speed bumps by the way they procrastinate or do or talk or do things, make it harder for you to keep your scheduled time window to meet your deadlines or your checkpoints. That it ended up being like a little therapy session.
Maybe
you let go of some of your feelings and some emotions, and you went through your point of view, and I try to give you some of my point of view. But of course, I'm just a dad, and I'm not here as much with them. You are, so honestly, my point of view is irrelevant because I see the kids in a different point of view in a different way.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll tell me things about the kids, and I'll be like, "You're not with them all day. Like you don't know."
Right. And like I said, like with our 7-year-old, to me, she's my little angel, right? She's a good girl. She's a sweetheart. She's always hugging me and kissing me and telling me she loves me. Like I said before, like we have such a great relationship now. And so,
To me, she's a nightmare.
but yeah, and you're always telling me like, oh, every time you pick her up, I get a text saying, oh, your daughter's in a bad mood and she's fighting with me. She's trying to pick a fight, or she's calling me names, telling me that I'm a mean mommy, that I didn't hug her, or that why did I pick her up so early? Or,
Yeah, I remember one time I picked her and I didn't let her play in the dirt with her friends after school. Oh my God. And she had a meltdown about that. Yeah. Fun stuff. Well, and as you were saying all that, I started thinking about those moms that I've known who tell their kids they don't have time for anything with their kids, but they're stay-at-home moms with nothing else that they have to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, you're saying all these things. I'm like, I don't understand. What type of parent is that? Like those parents who tell their kids, who don't help them with their homework, who don't necessarily cook for them on a regular basis, who are always out with their friends. And if they're not out there with their friends in their home, they're just like sitting on the couch watching TV or on the phone. And their kids, they promise empty promises to their kids, and then they tell their kids that they can't do things with them because they are too busy. Like, I've known parents like that. And in my head, I'm like, what the F? Like, like you have all the time in the world. Like, you could be the best parent if you would just apply yourself a little bit, like give them a little more importance. And
maybe, you're right. Maybe it is a form of narcissist because they're just concentrating on themselves and not
on what makes them happy.
Yeah, not on their children's time or bonding. So wow.
I don't know. Okay. When you were saying it, just reminded me of parents that are like that, who have all the time in the world, because they don't have to work, for whatever reason, and they choose not to be a better parent, be present in their kid's life. Like, yeah, that's a different topic, I guess. I'm just trying to correlate
I know where you're
time,
going with it.
they have time.
We've seen those parents. We've seen those parents.
That's what I'm saying. We know
parents.
We know parents like this. I've seen parents at school.
I don't know them, but I've seen them.
I mean, I know at least one, but like at the schools, I'll see grandparents straight up sitting outside the school. I mean, I haven't seen it at this school, but at other schools the kids have gone to.
I have seen them.
There's like those moms or grandparents.
But you know what? I actually like seeing the grandparents.
I do like seeing the grandparents.
It's kind of like one of those, like the grandparents feel like they have a purpose, like something to do, something to get them going. But it's more of the, like, how nice is it to have, to be there for your grandchild, or, for a kid. As kids take it for granted that it's their grandparents, but they don't realize how lucky they are, because there's so many people like me, for example, that didn't get to have their grandparents all the time, and do things with their grandparents. And that's one of the things I tell the boys and the girls, as like our kids, is that, enjoy your grandparents. You have them, listen to them, try to spend time with them. I know they can be a little frustrating or whatever now, but one day you'll look back and you'll be like, that was cool. I did get to have my grandparents. And I told them, I was like, I probably won't be around when you guys become parents.
The plan is for you to be around because, we're saying we're going to actually get to enjoy our life together as a couple.
Yeah, we're finally going to get to be together.
Once the kids are grown.
I wonder if it would drive each other crazy.
I know. No, he's like with the stare off into La La Land.
I'm
like
just wondering if I'm actually going to be able to, perform at that age.
All the things to think about. I think there's medications for those things. I don't even know if I'm going to want your wrinkly butt at that age.
Exactly. Right. How do I know? I'm still going to want your wrinkly butt at that age too.
That's true. Well,
that's a lie, baby. I will always
we've got a couple years. We've got a couple more years for that. But anyways, that's my little rant about time management. I think that's enough for now. Do you have something else you want to add?
No, baby, this was all you. I'm sorry I can't help you more with the time.
Oh, no. I
I'll tell you what, if by some reason some of my stock ever like stuff or this podcast takes off and I don't have to work, I'll be more than happy to help you with the time management.
If you don't have to
things.
work because of the podcast, I don't have to work because of the podcast.
Yeah, so like or whatever. I win the lotto. I guess I should start playing lotto.
No,
like
we have to be able to find. Well, I guess we need to pay off our bills, and then once we've paid off the bills, get some investment property that we can retire on and then we'll have time. Well, and so this whole idea that time is money. If time is money and you're always busy does not make you money, then you're wasting time.
We can see it in so many different points of views, so many different ways of seeing it. Like you're saying, yeah, time is money. So a lot of people that are successful and make money, you can take half of those people and they'll be like, yeah, they never sleep. They sleep in between drives or something. They have somebody drive them. They take naps. They power naps, throughout the day. Mm-hmm. But they're always busy. They're always grinding, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, this is why I'm successful. This is why I'm always grinding. I sneak in naps when I can or whatever. I don't sleep more than 4 hours or more than 3 hours a day. I'm always doing this. I'm always doing that. But then there's the other group of people, the other half, that do the same thing, but they're doing it just to survive. Mm-hmm. Right? So you can take an aspect of both things. Like, you're always on the grind or not. You can take the people that procrastinate a lot, don't get a lot done, but they're successful. It was just total, like, wow, how the hell does that happen?
The American dream is to own land, to rent to other people so that you can live your life.
I don't want to rent to no one.
I feel like the new American dream, like the American dream once upon a time was, own your own home and have your family and find a good, solid job that you can be in for the rest of your life. It's going to give you a good pension, and then collect your Social Security once you grow up, once you're in your elderly. We're not going to have that. We're not going to have pensions and Social Security by the time we stop working. So we need to find something else to supplement
when
our income.
I used to think as a kid when I was like, oh, when I retire, I'm going to live in this little ranch and just have a couple of horses and, wake up in the mornings and ride my horses and, go out for a little
When's
ride.
The last time you went horseback riding?
Exactly. And with my legs and my hips and my knees and everything, it's like, you think I'll be able to climb a goddamn horse? Oh, man.
Yeah. All I know is that our time management was horrible when we were younger. Now we're paying for it. So.
Not mine.
Okay. Wow. It is what it is.
But all right. Well,
thank you for listening.
Yeah. Time management, man. Let us know how you guys do with your time management if you're all good with it.
Yeah. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us.
Right.
And you'll hear from us soon.
Thank you for the love and support as always.
Bye.
You guys have a great one. Peace.